Most freelancers aren't underpaid. They're accidentally pricing themselves into poverty. Let me give you the real reason you're not making profit. And no, it's not low rates, it's not your clients, it's not the economy, the niche, or even the platform you use. And if you stick with me for the next few minutes, you're going to see the exact moment where almost every freelancer accidentally destroys their own profit without even realizing it. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. And honestly, it explains everything you've been struggling with. The truth is actually much simpler and way more dangerous. Your entire pricing system is backwards. That's what it is. Most freelancers don't have a pricing problem. They have a profit leak problem. And it starts before the project even begins. Before the invoice, before the pitch, before the discovery call. Here's what actually happens. A project comes in. You're excited, maybe even relieved you finally got a hold of the project. You open a document and you start doing the math. How long will this take? What expenses are involved? What's the fair rate? You even ask, what will the client say yes to? You calculate, you add, you adjust, you crunch the numbers, then you send the price. But here's the hidden mistake, the one that almost every freelancer makes. You price the project, but you didn't price yourself. Your profit was just an afterthought. The paycheck was optional. Your value was whatever happened to be left over. This is why your income never stabilizes, why every month feels really unpredictable. This is why burnout creeps in even though you're busy, right? You're not building a business at this point. You're plugging holes in a sinking ship. You see, here's the outdated pricing formula freelancers use. It's cost plus time, that equals a price. On the surface, it sounds smart. It feels responsible, right? It even feels like the grown-up professional way to run a business. It's the formula you've heard in courses, freelancing books, and how to price your work videos. It's basically freelance religion at this point, right? But here's the problem. That formula is fundamentally flawed, and it keeps you broke. Because in that equation, profit is never baked in. It's not planned, it's not protected, not prioritized. At that point, it's a leftover, right? A bonus, a side effect if you're lucky. Profit becomes a maybe, a variable, a let's cross our fingers and hope that number works out. And hope is not a business model. This is why your income feels unpredictable. That's why every project feels like gambling. That's why you can have a good month on paper and still have a disappointing bank balance at the end of it. Some months, you can keep 10%. Other months, it's maybe 5. Some months, it's nothing at all. And here's the part that no one talks about. You can work harder than you ever have in your life. 60 hours, 70 hours, late nights, early mornings, skipped weekends, and still walk away with the same amount of money as someone who clocked in half of the effort. Because effort doesn't guarantee profit. Quality doesn't guarantee profit. Even landing higher paying clients doesn't guarantee profit. Not if your pricing system is still backwards. The traditional formula turns freelancers into the last person to get paid in their own business. It tells you to calculate your costs, estimate your hours, and add everything up, and then hope there's something left over for you. No other business runs like that. No grocery store, no agency, no software company, but somehow freelancers are expected to survive on scraps. This is why so many freelancers stay stuck, even when they're talented, when they're in demand, even when they're booked out. They're using a formula designed for survival. Not success, not stability, not profit. The solution is to use a profit-first pricing system. This is what smart freelancers do instead. They flip the equation. They price like a real business. First comes profit, then cost, then time, then that's when you get your price. And that is profit-first pricing, and it transforms everything. This is how profit-first pricing works. See, the first step is to choose your profit margin first, not last. Before you touch a calculator, before you plan the project, you decide what you get, right? Let's say you choose 20%. That 20% is locked in. It's a non-negotiable. It's untouchable. That is your paycheck, not your leftovers. Step 2 is to add your expenses, the software, the tools, the subcontractors, taxes, everything needed to deliver the project. Then step 3, you add the value of your time. But notice, you add the value, not the hours. That takes into account your brain, your judgment, your expertise, your experience, your creative direction, because that is exactly what you're delivering to the client, right? So all of that put together, that equals your price. This system makes profit predictable, consistent, automatic. Not a bonus if things go well, not a maybe if everything lines up perfectly. It's a guarantee at this point. And here's the crazy part no one really expects. When you price with profit first, clients take you more seriously. They tend to negotiate less. Clients respect your time. Clients see you as a business, not a pair of hands. Why? Because every real business bakes profit into every single transaction. Your grocery store includes profit. Your barber includes profit. Your dentist, your gym, your cell phone carrier, your local coffee shop even, they all include profit first. Nobody hopes they'll be profitable. They ensure it by pricing intentionally. Freelancers, they pray for leftovers. They pray clients won't push back. They pray that the math somehow, in some way, works out. When you run your business this way, that's survival, not strategy. And here's actually the part nobody warns you about. Clients can actually sense when your pricing is weak. They can feel when you're just covering expenses. They can feel when you're scared to lose a project. This is because you're running your operation from desperation, right? And desperate pricing creates needy energy, lowered boundaries, overstepping clients, endless revisions, scope creep, unpaid emotional labor, and burnout masked as opportunity. But profit first pricing does quite the opposite. It communicates stability. It communicates confidence. It communicates, I run a real business. And clients, they respond to that. They respect that. They trust that. That's when your client quality shifts. That's when your projects improve. That's when your stress finally decreases. So here's the real decision. Will you keep pricing yourself at zero profit? Will you keep hoping something is left over? Will you keep building a business that pays everyone else but yourself? Or will you flip your pricing system? Pay yourself first and finally operate like every successful business in the world. Because the moment you do, everything changes. Your income, your confidence, your boundaries, your reputation, your client base, your entire freelance identity, all of it shifts the moment you stop treating profit like an accident and start treating it like a requirement.